the piety, taqwa. Okay, and this is mainly what is meant by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَاظْفَرْ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ. Choose the religious woman. Okay, so this is the second point. Now, khalas, this is a Muslim girl, but is she a religious woman or not? Okay, here we should be careful. How? You have to choose, you have to evaluate yourself. I mean, you have to evaluate your level of iman. Yeah, for example, am I a good Muslim practicing Islam perfectly? Or I have many mistakes? For example, we can classify people. For example, there is a person, we call him, he is Dayyan, who's practicing Islam perfectly, praying the 5 prayers in the masjid, okay, praying Qiyamul Layl, attends the lectures, Islamic lectures, okay, with beard, his appearance, mashallah, according to the sunnah, using the siwak, polite when he speaks, mashallah, very nice. He doesn't listen to the music, he doesn't go to the cinemas, okay. Yeah, mashallah, he looks perfect in Islam. Another person, no, he's praying the 5 prayers, okay. But for example, also he goes to the cinema, or he smokes cigarettes. I mean, he's a Muslim. He's practicing the pillars of Islam. I mean the 5 pillars, but he's not like the first one. So this is what we mean by a religious woman. So you should evaluate yourself and try to choose somebody who is the same level. This will help you again. I'm not talking about allowed or not allowed. We try to match a good spouses. So I should know myself. Am I a perfect Muslim like the Sahaba, or I pray maybe 3 times a day in the masjid? Okay, for example, I smoke cigarette. I know this is mistake. I know this is haram, but I'm doing this. So you should know yourself, because what is the problem? Sometimes I know myself that I'm not a good Muslim, good practicing Islam. I'm not praying in the masjid, only Jum'ah. Yes, I'm doing all the salah at home or at work, but I don't come to the masjid except Jum'ah. So I should know that I have a problem in practicing the Islam perfectly. So please don't ask for a perfect woman, a religious woman. I want, wallahi, a woman with niqab, alima. She finished Islamic studies, and she doesn't listen to music, and this is not fair. You say, inshallah, she will help me, but maybe she will not okay with you. She will not live in peace with you. Or for example, you are a religious man, mashallah, and you found a good Muslimah, okay, but she is without hijab. She's without hijab, and this is haram. Hijab is wajib. You say, okay, I will marry her, then after marriage, I will tell her to wear the hijab. Don't go for this. This is common mistake. This is common mistake for the brothers. I found, wallahi, mashallah, she's polite and everything, but she is without hijab. Okay, this is haram. Without hijab, she has to cover. Wallahi, inshallah, I will try. Okay, if she did not accept, because it happened. A good Muslim married a woman without hijab, and they wrote as a condition in the contract, she should wear hijab. But after marriage, she did not wear the hijab. Fighting, then divorce. So from the beginning, try to choose the suitable spouse for you. Don't say, well, I will ask him to stop. I will ask her to wear the hijab. I will ask her not to listen to the music. No. So from the beginning, try, evaluate yourself, the level of your iman or practicing Islam, then try to match with a good spouse. This will be, you know, when you are closer, this will be better for you. But no doubt, يعني for example, if you have a problem, يعني for example, I am smoking, I'm not praying in the masjid, you have to correct yourself. Put in your intention, you have to correct yourself. This is something between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this will bless your life with your wife. So this is number 2. Number 3, الوعي, يعني the level of her perception. يعني for example, sometimes there's a good lady, mashallah, she's a good Muslimah with hijab, with niqab, mashallah, covering hair, covering face with abaya, praying, but she doesn't how to manage the house. Yani for example, she is very simple. You need a woman who takes care about your money, as the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that. Yani one of the criteria of the good Muslim, if you travel, she will protect him and his wealth and his house, children. This is very important. Yani yani for example, if the man, she's at home alone, then a man came, he knocked the door, well, I want to check something at home. The يعني electricity, to fix something. She said, okay, I will go inside the bedroom, I will lock the bedroom, then you enter and you, for example, you repair, you fix the pipe or whatever. So this man entered and he stole everything at home, the TV, then after 10 minutes, he left. Where is your mind? So you need a woman who is aware. Okay, but how can I know this? Do we have like a blood test machine? I go to the lab and I check. You cannot know this by the lab, but you can know this by asking her surroundings. I mean her friends. And this is very, very important. Or for example, in the khutbah, I mean in the period before the contract, before ijab and qabul, you can sit with her and you talk with her, or you tell your sister or your mother to talk with her. How yani? You sit with the lady, you know this is allowed in Sharia yani. Of course, not alone. Her father with her, you sit together, you go to their house, okay? Of course, after asking the permission, you ask, well, I want to sit with this girl, I want to see her, I want to speak to her. So you ask, yani for example, okay, how are you? Assalamu alaikum, kayf al-hal? Okay, give her any topic and check her response. Yani for example, if this lady spoke about, wallahi, in the Jam'iyya now, the KDD ice cream was 70 fils and now it is 100 fils. And wallahi, the Instagram, there are the faces and different. So this is one kind of girls. But if you go to a girl and you speak to her, she said, wallahi, we need to improve the education in our schools. The education now is not يعني developed like the other countries. So what is the between the first and second example? The first example, she's a girl, يعني she's a kid. But the second one, you feel that she is aware, mashallah. So you have to check her perception, her awareness of the things. This is very important. Why? Because this will help you in raising children and running the house. Number 4, al-haya. This is very important with the ladies and the girls. Al-haya, the shyness or modesty. And you know the story of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, okay? When the father sent her daughter, one of her daughters, to Musa, what Allah said, فَجَاءَتْهُ إِحْدَاهُمَا تَمْشِي عَلَى اسْتِحْيَاءٍ عَلَى اسْتِحْيَاءٍ قَالَتْ. She came to Musa walking in a shyness way, and also she was speaking to him politely. She was very shy. So this is very important. Also the same thing, how we can know this? You can know this by her friends. You ask. Tell your mother to ask her friends in the college or in the masjid, for example, if she attends the halqa in the masjid or the lectures. When, for example, also you can notice this when you meet her with her family, of course, okay, how she speaks. There is difference. For example, if you meet this girl with her family before marriage, of course, she's looking down. When you ask her, you cannot hear because of shyness. This is normal. But imagine, she's looking at you, the eye contact very strong, okay, and she's asking you, yalla, raise your voice. There's a big difference. Okay, who's the man? Okay, this from the beginning like this. Okay, what she'll do later. Okay, shyness is very, very important. Is she speaking to men in a rude way with the people loudly? You have to check this, because shyness, haya, is very important. Khuluq, a manner for the woman, of course, also for the man, but for the woman is more, should be more. Number 5. Okay, can you repeat? Number 1, Islam. Number 2, as-salah, the level of her religion. Number 3, awareness. Number 4, haya. How many people here going to marry? Nobody? Mafi? Nobody is going to marry? Hayyakum Allah. Not yet. Inshallah. Inshallah, you will be well prepared. طيب. Number 5, at-ta'a, obedience. This is very important. Obeying the husband. I should choose a woman who is obeying her husband. This is very important. The same thing you need. How I can know this? By asking the friends. Because, subhanAllah, this is very important. This is very important. Maybe you will say, Sheikh, all of your points difficult to know. No, it is not difficult to know sometimes. But the problem, we don't have the correct way to know these points. Why? Because now people start to, not now, before. How they want to marry? Through the internet. Well, I know this girl from the Facebook. So if you know her from the Facebook, of course you cannot reach to these points. How you can check her akhlaq, her manners, the obedience? You cannot know. Impossible to know. What you know from the Facebook, she's beautiful or not. Even this point you cannot make sure. Please, brothers and sisters, as an advice from the specialist people, don't go for the internet marriage. Don't choose your wife through the internet. Well, I'm going to marry this girl. From where you know her? Well, through the internet, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snap. Please, don't do this. Because subhanallah now, the traditional marriage, my family knows her family. My father knows her father. And my mother knows her mother. My sister knows her sister. And we ask, and we go to them. We know her from maybe childhood. After all these, even there is a problem after marriage. Problems after marriage. Subhanallah. So what about a marriage only through the internet? Of course, this can work. This can work because the tawfiq from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, and the success from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you have to follow the correct way. So, at-ta'a, obedience. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked, which woman is best? Which woman is best? He said, the one who makes him happy when he looks at her, obeys him when he commands her, and she doesn't go against his wishes with regard to herself nor her wealth. So the point here, obeys him when he commands. I need a woman like this who obeys me, and this is very important for the man. Please, sisters, our